everyone. Hi, everyone. Happy tea time. For those who are like, what is she talking about? I'm Andrea Garvey, and I am a little disheveled, and I'm here for an afternoon tea time chat, talking all things creative, joyful, artsy, fun. And I'm just gonna go shut this little screen door. Sometimes you can hear the commuters on their way home. But I'm lucky I don't have to go very far. Hello. All right, so we are Wednesday, and my did I tell you guys the other day? My husband is building me. I'm really excited, and it's going to be ready for my retreats. A 24-foot long garden bed for just annuals, for just cutting annuals. So it's high enough, which I love, so I don't have to like bend over and weed. Not that I am a prima donna, but it's so much easier to weed when you're like waist high. And hopefully the gophers aren't going to be too bad, but they'll have to come up pretty high. It's going to be all annuals and flowers and just wildflowers, and it's going to be amazing. And then he has to redo my dahlia garden bed because that is all wonky. And then he's going to, Wendy, good question. Then he is going to, he just made a vegetable garden. So in September, when I have the retreat, we'll have lots of different garden beds. And when we found this property, there was some beautiful mosaic tiled tables and benches from the 40s that was, I don't want to say it was covered up, and like our house was abandoned, so we have been working on it. So when Mark, my husband, started working on it, we found all these big piles of dirt and rubble, and inside the piles were all these amazing things. So these tables are going to be put in amongst the garden, and I cannot wait. I should share some photos with you guys. Hold on, I might have to take off my sweater. It is hot here. Don't worry, I have a tank top on. Hello, you guys. Okay, so Wendy asked a question if I've been getting some subscribers over to YouTube, and yes, I have, and it's been really fun. I haven't really advertised that I'm doing this that much. I wanted to make sure that I could do it, and now that I've been super busy too, but now I think one of the things that I want to do for this and for my business people out there is, now that I have a consistent show up and I'm here, I can then take little sections from my YouTube videos. So the one I did with Jen or the one I did with Betty, and then I can put those on Instagram and Facebook to sort of just kind of full circle them back and forth. So yeah, it's really fun. It's really exciting. I love being on YouTube for these reasons. I'll tell you. One is that if I did them in my Facebook community, which I do lives. In fact, anybody in my Facebook community, I'm going live on Saturday. I totally forgot. See, it's just me. It's me and Areli, who works for me 5 hours a week. Hold on. I gotta remember this. I have to tell people. So I'm going to do Facebook Live on Saturday. That's in my Create Joy community. And I don't know if I'm going to do it at 10 or 12. I'm just going to decide right now. That will be at 12 p.m. And okay, back to what I was saying. So Facebook community groups are awesome. But what happens is, because groups got so big, they don't show them to everybody all the time like they used to. And yes. Now it says REM Arts, so tell me your first name so I don't have to call you REM Arts. But shorts are something you can also do. Like I can take my Instagram little reels and put them in YouTube. But the other reason why I like YouTube is when I was on Instagram Live and people would kind of come in and out, it was more of like a, Rachel. Okay, Rachel, I'm writing that down too so I don't forget. Instagram is like, it kind of comes in and it comes out, and they're scrolling like my kids do, and they're not paying attention. So I gave that a try about a year ago. Like every Wednesday, I think I was on Instagram, and it was okay. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I had to always be vertical, which I don't love because I think as an artist, it's really nice to be horizontal. Like you can see some of my studio if I had some big works out, and you know, vertical is a little bit tricky. Hold on, I need a little sip of my tea. Okay, none of that was what I was going to talk to you guys about today. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of my art supplies, or my art medium of choice. So I don't know about you, but sometimes depending on how I feel, in whether it's a season or a week or in a month or even a day, I pick different types of mediums. And I have been really, really busy this last month creating new launches, creating new workshops, creating the retreat, getting ready for my France retreat. I am loving it, but I'm also feeling tired a little bit. And so it's hard for me to paint with acrylics when I'm feeling just a little bit like I just kind of want to sit on my table and paint in small sections. So I find that watercolors, it kind of really feeds my heart in that regard. And that's why I'm coming up with this watercolor workshop. It's hard for me to do acrylics and acrylics for a long time and then do watercolors. So I kind of do them a little bit here and a little bit there. But funny, I was in a meeting today, and this piece above me is, for anybody who's in my Facebook group, they know this is a piece that I started in my Facebook group. And when I was in a Zoom meeting this morning, I was paying attention kind of, and I took my chalk and I drew all over it. So now I'm kind of excited to get back there. I think as artists, it's like changing, you know, perfumes or different clothing or having different hairstyles is the art mediums. So I have had people ask me like, what is it okay to switch around? Should I just be in this one or this one? And I love acrylics and I love watercolors. I kind of maybe have them as an even split. I don't really tap into oils. I tried that once. In fact, right here is a big supply of oil stuff, and I just don't. Oops, they're not supposed to be making a lot of noise. Do you hear that? It's not a ton. It's not a ton of oil stuff, but I took a class. I think it was fine. I just don't know if I want to spend the time with that new medium. All right, so here's what I wanted to chat with you about today. I am crazy about what I'm going to show you, and I haven't even opened them. I'm going to be trying them in the workshop. I may have to take a little time this week and try them. Look at these gorgeous colors. I'm actually going to take this off. I hope they don't all fall on the ground though. I don't think so. Well, let me keep this on just in case. Okay. Look at those colors. Can you see them? Let me take this thing off. It's, all right, this is, hold on. This is a company. Oh my goodness. I think I got rid of the thing. It's a Japanese company. I'll find it for you guys and I'll link it because it is on Amazon. I kind of went a little bit overboard. What I really, really wanted was this color, these colors, some of these colors, some of those colors, some of those colors. And they're their new colors, but you had to buy the whole set. I did splurge. I felt like I deserved it. I have a workshop coming up. I'm going to use them. But it also came with these water pens, which are really nice to have when you're working with watercolors. Can you guys hear that noise? I'm gonna have to tell him to like knock it off for a minute or two. Let's hope he stops in a second. Okay, so these I'm gonna try. Now the thing about this company, it begins with a K. I can't remember it exactly. All right, but here's what I love is that these are watercolor and gouache, like a mixture. So gouache is like watercolor, but it's more opaque, all right? And the more, so these look pretty opaque when you see these colors, and then you can turn them into watercolors by using more water. So I think this is fascinating. My friend Renee She got a set and she made them look so beautiful. I had to go order my own set. All right, so I'm gonna be playing with these in the workshop coming up. That's on April 13th, okay? And then I decided that in that workshop, I want to play with all of the different types of watercolors, but I just went, okay, yes. Oh, they are? Oh my gosh, you guys are going so fast. Um, I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to say kurataki. That sounds very fancy. But yes, yes, yes. And I'm so happy and thrilled because I think they are just stunning. I don't think I can take them to France with me. I might be able to, but they're just such a sweet little pan. Then they just look really nice. So I'm glad because that set and the 3 brushes that was $50. And I didn't need any of it. But I worked really hard, so I deserved it. But I wanted to tell you that you can buy those in smaller sets too, like in 10s and 12s. They just never have like those beautiful tropical springtime colors that I want so bad. You can never find a set like that. However, you can find a set like that is from Amazon too. Look what Jen did. Jen turned my palette gray. What does need have to do with it? Oh, that is true, Wendy. I deserved it. All right, so this is a set. It looks like it's a mess right now, and you can just wipe that off really easily. This is a set called Tropicals, and it used to be called Prima, and now they're called Confections, I think. And I'll link to these too. All right, so this has to be my most favorite set of watercolors. And this is what I have every morning. See, this is this is actually much better. All right, look at these colors. All right, this is in the set. It's pretty, whoop. Hold on. I just flipped it. Oh my God. All right, we're back in action. Okay, look. Are those dreamy or what? All right, so in the morning when I have my little basket, and I brought my basket to show you. So this little basket, you can get these baskets anywhere. I think we got it somewhere local, but they're these cute little baskets. So your art supplies aren't like hanging all over the house, making a mess. No, they're in here. So I have my set of watercolors. Then I have my set that I got in Florence, and I just love Florence so much. And these are Italian labels, so I have them in here. And what I did was I went into the shop, and I encourage you to do this whenever you travel. Hold on, one more sip. The only reason I'm letting my husband bang away like that is because he's making me something. If it was something else, you'd hear me. All right, so this little set, I went into the shop and I was with Jen, who you saw the other day, and we picked out colors that reminded me of Tuscany. We had just done a 10-day retreat in Tuscany. So the colors I wanted them to remind me of Tuscany. So these are my colors. And this blue is not the right blue. It's a different blue. So ignore the blue, but they go in there so I can have more pans. I can fill in. You can buy these pans also on Amazon. I feel like I'm a broken record, but you can buy the little pans. You can fill them with your own colors. But these were the colors that reminded me of Tuscany, and they were, you know, a lavender, a purple, a gold for like the beautiful hills. I have like an earth, a terra here, olive green, and another blue. And so when I pick this palette up, I always think of the memories and that trip. So that's in here. And the little travel brush, I think, is still in the kitchen. But then this is my little book that I've shown. I just want to show you my most recent circles. This was from, because I forgot to post. This was from this morning. All it is 2 greens. It's a light green and a little bit of a Kelly green. These are from the tropical set. And then the same brush, and I just made some lines, little background lines. And then This one, I gotta tell you a funny story about this one. So I think I showed that the other day. Okay, this one was like, it just was a mess. And so what I do when I paint with watercolors is I let it dry and then I kind of went over the whole thing with the dark purple, but then I made a little heart in there. So this is just my morning doodling, painting circle time. 5-10 minutes, sometimes longer. It all depends. It's so therapeutic. And if you can find yourself a little tiny basket and one brush, the only thing that you need to do is grab a little thing of water and have that with you. So you could have this basket by your couch. You could do while you're watching Netflix. You could just do it in the morning with your tea or your coffee, and it's super, super, super relaxing. So, all right, and then just a couple more things I wanted to show you. Watercolor, because I'm talking about watercolors today. Watercolors also, you can have a lot of fun with the paper watercolors. This is a set called Peerless, and this is a set called Viva, 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 Vi. I have no idea. Renee gave me these, and this company gave these to Renee. Renee gave them to me to try them out. And it's the same kind of thing where you paint on this little swatch, and then the brush, you just get your brush wet and you go right onto here. And then you can paint right onto your palette. Onto your paper. Peerless, this company was invented back in 1902. And what they do, even earlier. Okay, ready? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it was developed by Chase Nicholson, and it was in 1885, and he created this bunch of watercolors to take black and white photos and to make them in color. So the process was to paint color on black and white photos. And when they came up with this idea and these pigments, they also realized now 100+ years later that they make great watercolors for artists. It's a company that you can find in packs of 16 or 36 or even more. And you can start with like a little tiny pack and build on, but they're fabulous. And I believe, it doesn't say it here, but I think this is true. So this was the original, isn't that cool? That's like the original certificate from these people. The original colors to put on films or paper leaflets. This is why I know this part is true, and it doesn't say it here. They were designed for Kodak, and Kodak was in Rochester, New York, and I lived in Buffalo, New York, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes away. So I have read that. So, oh, look there's a whole little story in here. I probably read it years and years ago. The reason I have these too was Jane Davenport told us all about it in the Mermaid Circus online class that I took like 12 years ago. All right, so the other last thing I wanted to show you is when you go into a store to buy watercolors, you can also buy them in tubes. You don't have to get the pan sets or the paper. The more traditional type is in the tubes. And I'm taking some photos. I just don't want to knock them all down. They look so pretty in here. But you can get like small little guys, okay? Before you invest in the big ones. They're kind of expensive in the big ones depending on your brand. Daniel Smith, they're kind of pricey. This one was $11 for this little tube. I just got these on sale. They were $3.99, and these are hand pigment made, and I got these through Jean Oliver's website, Wallace Seymour, and they're from England, and they were a little expensive. So all of it is different price points. But what I recommend that you do is you find the colors that you like. That's what I recommend to everybody. I really think that I like most of these colors, but I couldn't resist. But if you are in a store, if you go into an art supply store, pick the colors over a set. Just get a few that you really like. And when I teach my classes, I always want people to bring their own colors. We can do the same techniques, we can do the same layers, but bring the colors that like speak to you, because I feel like when you paint in the colors that you love, there's this extra level of just joy that it brings than if you were painting exactly what the teacher was painting. May not necessarily be your color wheel. So do that. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, which I'm going to be playing with, and I don't play enough with them, but I really want to do a better job at experimenting and just messing around. So we are definitely going to mess around with this on the 13th, is gouache. And I feel like gouache has had a little bit of a resurgence. I feel like I see it more, or maybe that's the universe telling me to play with it more, but I seem to see it more on Instagram. I seem to like hear about it more lately. And gouache is a more opaque, but it's also a wonderful paint to use. So to me, gouache is like, you know, you can reactivate gouache, and it's like watercolor, but a little bit thicker and a little bit more opaque. So if you're looking for like the complete translucent fluid paint, then stick to watercolor, but I want to still play with this and see what we can come up with. So I have a bunch that I'm going to be using, and I just thought it would be really fun. They're usually sold next to the watercolors, and they'll say gouache right at the top of the paint. These are a little set I must have had, or something around there. I'm returning them because I went to buy, yeah, Wendy, it's going to be so fun. I can't wait to play with them. I went to go buy this set, this gouache, and I don't know what I was thinking. And I came home and I had like mini ones, but they were $10 each. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to each tube. And I was like, no, I'm returning those. But I have plenty to play with. And I just want you to experiment and just have fun. So if you have tubes of paint and you are traveling and you don't want to bring all your paint, then what you can do is get these little tins, and these are from Wildthorn, but you can buy these little tins, and you can fill your little tiny pans with paint from your tubes. You can also find tins and put your own little, you know, pan sets in here and use these for travel. So that's always a great idea too. Like if you don't want to bring your acrylics, like, so when we're going to Hawaii in July, and I won't bring any acrylics with me, and I'll bring all watercolors and just go to town and have so much fun. So think about where you're going, what trip you're going on, and what kind of supplies you can bring. And also think about having little baskets right available, you know, just somewhere really close by that you can grab and you can play with. All right, my friends, what time is it? I don't even know. Let's see. It is, 4:22. All right, so I'm going to go, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And thank you so much for hopping on. Happy tea time. Cheers. What's the tea? Ching-a-ling. Wait, what is it? Hold on. Oh. There is something my mom used to say. I'll find out. All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.